Aloha, Honani here from Kingdom of Rahare. Welcome to my living room. So I have had a few people ask, where do I begin? How do I begin yoga at home? Now traditionally, and I still believe this to be true, it is most recommended to be in the presence of a teacher. But maybe you don't have the time, maybe there's not a studio near you, maybe you're not quite ready to be there and you want to do a few things at home to just become more familiar with your body, with your practice, and I understand that, I get that. There's just different paths. Over time though, and fairly quickly, I do highly recommend that you go to a studio or seek out a teacher that you can work with one-on-one, because everybody's body is a little different. So you can only share so much in vocal cues on a video. But with that said, where do you begin? I've had teenagers all the way through people who are retired asking me the same question, and I think it's a great question. In the past, a few years ago when someone asked me at a workshop I was leading, I said, just begin, just get on your mat, just do what you know, what naturally comes to you. Maybe it's dancing, maybe it's just, I'm a robot, and breathe. And while that is somewhat encouraging and inspiring because you don't have to have a perfect pose and you don't need to know much, the more I've studied yoga anatomy, and I'm an anatomy buff, I geek out on it, but specifically anatomy and as it applies to the postures, I have a little more detailed answer to where to begin. And that is, where do you begin? You begin by moving the spine in all of its natural directions, its healthy directions. So forward, flexion, extension, or a back bend, I call them heart openers, lateral, side to side, twist, left and right. And then one of the beautiful things about the yoga asana practice and the postures is that it also takes the spine in the opposite direction, meaning day to day we're standing, walking, sitting, and our spine is stacked like this, our vertebrae is stacked like this, and gravity's pulling down from head to tail or to our feet. But some of the postures invert us or bring our hips higher and our neck and our head closer to the floor, and that just changes the gravitational pull on our spine. It's really beneficial, it's helpful, it's also beneficial to the organs. So while not everyone's in a place where they can invert or do a handstand, a headstand, there are poses we can begin incorporating to help change that or shift that gravitational pull on our spine. But that's where you begin, by simply moving the spine in its natural healthy direction. So 6 directions, maybe 7 or 8 depending on how you define it. With that said, you also want to incorporate mindful breathing and maybe a rest at the end, whether that's a shavasana lying on your back or a seated meditative pose. So in these next 4 videos, I am going to show you what I'm going to call 10-minute practices, but they're great places where to begin. I'm going to show you lying on the ground, I'm going to show you on all fours, I'm going to show you standing, and I'm going to show you sitting in a chair. And I'm just going to move the spine in all of its directions. I'm not going to do a lot of poses. I'm just going to do one pose that facilitates that action for the spine. And my intention is for you to become familiar with the movement of your spine and to really realize that every movement you do affects your spine in some way, whether it's up by the neck or down by the hips or somewhere in between. If you have any questions about it, please feel free to ask. I love geeking out on anatomy. As I've said, if you have any prior conditions, you always want to check with your doctor to make sure that these postures are okay for you and your condition, especially if you have a back or neck injury. With that said, what you'll need is somewhere to do your practice. So a sticky mat, if you're doing the floor version, maybe it's a comfortable rug. If you are not ready, if you're not mobile enough to get to the floor or do standing poses and you feel more comfortable in a chair, get a chair. So what I do recommend is, if you don't know how to find a comfortable seat at ease, either a chair lying on the floor in a seated meditative pose like I am right now, watch my video, a yoga tutorial on finding a meditative seat first, because you might need other props to support you, whether it's blocks or blankets. Then come back to this. So go ahead, get what you need, mat, pillow, maybe it's watch that other video first, and then come back. We're going to begin.